or made us more isolated. And I think if we
A
had
great topic.
more developed face-to-face friendships, because you feel a chemical response from friends when you've gone through some stuff and stay committed as friends, you can feel comfort from real friends, like in real life. And that can be something you run to instead of these other things, because a good friendship can also release dopamine and make you feel comforted and safe. So there are healthy options, but we'll talk about that a little bit of way of controlling it or doing different things. But Athena, she's like, oh, yes. Athena,
Mm-hmm.
I want to give you ample opportunity because your topic is sometimes because of personal desires to discuss the topic and of course have input, that kind of thing. So please, would you take the microphone and share with us why this was important? You talked about clothing. Like when did you discover that it's too much, that you do it too impulsively? Yeah, Athena, can you share a little bit about this topic to develop it more?
Uh-huh. Um, this compulsive addiction makes me lose lost time, a lot of time and sleep even sometimes, and money, of course. I bought a card with how many how much? 60,000 RMB uh, in the card. I bought the card to an online shopping app, and so I don't need to worry about money. I mean, when I buy stuff online, I won't think of money because there's plenty money in the card, and because clothes are not that expensive, mm, and so because they are inexpensive, because
Mm-hmm.
there are too many choices, because it's so convenient, because they, yeah, just like Candy said, you can return it if you don't like it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's so attractive to me, and
It's easy to
I'm but
justify.
I
Yeah.
don't really need so many stuff. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just need a way to stop.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's really it's very easy if they can give you all of the joy component without the sensation of the responsibility. And if you look, that same formula is affecting our relationships and other things we do. It's promising you all the joy, all the good parts without needing to deal with all the challenging parts. And it's really not a good formula. It's not a good formula. It's like when if people were to go and get surgery to put in muscles without having to go to the gym, they might have an instant gratification of looking in the mirror and going, that's wow, that's great. But over time, because it's not actually a part of them, just like with bad plastic surgery, it starts to become apparent that it's not a part of them, that it's an implant or something like that. And so these things that are generating this sensation give us eventually the inevitable sensation of the responsibility of it or the side effect of it. And so, yeah, we have to be very attentive to this seduction of all the good without any of the bad or any of the responsibility. It's definitely a common formula.
I have the same experience as for most of girls in China, because I think girls in China like to buy a lot of things even though we don't need to have it, but we want to own it. And it doesn't matter if we just wear the clothes or the shoes at all. It is the thing that a buying something can satisfy our desire. And recently, I come to realize that as for my clothes that I want to buy, and my closet is not very big. If I just buy a lot of things that I don't need to have it, my house is more, my closet is more. It means that my closet couldn't, sorry, my closet is full if I buy something that I don't need to have it. So I just decrease the money that I spent on the clothing.
Mm, interesting, like a budget. Okay, back to you, Olis Alicia.
Um, Again, um, if you want to solve this problem in your life and stop buying extra stuff, I would try to address like that initial thing again that makes you um, collect things, buy excessively, buy things, but you don't really need them and you don't really use them. So it's not out of necessity. You need to like gain more awareness and think before you pay.
Hmm.
Think before you order something. Why do you want it? Do you really need it or not? Also, I would say like pay attention to your emotions in that moment. Maybe you're just trying again escape some emotions. Maybe you're just stressed out and it's your gate, to
Hmm.
gain some relief from your stress. But actually you're
Hmm.
not even addressing your stress, you're just temporarily escape from this, but your stress will still be there, but your money will be gone and you will have like a whole wardrobe of things
Hmm.
you do not need. So, one more thing I recalled. So, what I forgot to say. So, one reason is either you are escaping your emotions or you lack something in your life and you're trying to fill that gap, you
Hmm.
know? So, I would say start analyzing why are you doing these things? Why are you seeking for this kind of relief?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, and that these are great points, guys, because is it the attention? Is it the acceptance of others at your fashion choices? Is it because you lived a large part of your life, maybe as a child, where you couldn't have something, and so it's a rebound
A great,
reaction?
yes, a great point.
I
I,
mean,
I, I wanted to say it about myself.
hmm.
Since I had that period of my life when I always wanted something, but my mom always told me, like, we cannot have it, we don't need it. And I had, when I started, making enough money, I started feeling those gaps from my childhood simply because I just,
Hmm.
oh, now I can buy this, I can buy that. And I just, I kind of lost a little bit my control.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's normal. When I joined the military when I was 18, barely 18, uh, I didn't even have leather sneakers in school, and everyone else did. I was not equipped to be a cool kid at all. And so one of my first paychecks, I went and got some Bally sneakers because I heard a famous rap star talking about that was a sign of success, these suede sneakers. And I quickly found out that overpriced suede sneakers are not good for sneakers. They crease real easily and it's hard to keep them clean. And if water gets on them, it was just a foolish combination of material and function. And I got a Gucci watch, I think, because he also talked about the sign of success is having a Gucci watch. And it was so small and I couldn't read the numbers and I lost it very shortly thereafter. Someone
Oh,
stole
I
it out of
remember
my
that story.
out of my dorm room. Yeah, so I learned right away that those, but it didn't stop me. I mean, it gave me a pause, but I learned right away that those flashy things that aren't functional. Now, here, Athena's interjection into this is we're in the dilemma of time where things are so convenient and so inexpensive, still good quality, justify the necessity. If it's winter, we need warm things. If it's summer, we need, but but we keep getting excessive. And so something that actually has helped me is through the internet, I've met wonderful people that I consider family. One is Tendai in Africa, in Lusaka, Zambia. And Also, another friend, a Christian friend in the Philippines who live in they live in the jungles, like in Pampanga, and having constant contact with them and being involved in their lives, it reminds me the value of the things I'm spending. So I haven't bought from a vending machine at work in a long time. I'm now preparing my little food stuff so I won't have impulse. And I've broken those conditioned responses and those thoughtless responses to purchasing things because I think, wow, 20 bucks, what could Tendai do with 20 bucks? If I send him 20 bucks, he could probably eat for almost a week with him and his wife, you know? And so I start to really balance myself with my perceived and real opportunities here and what that could do in his life or the life of the family in the Philippines who just recently finished building their hut. And they were so excited. But to me, I was like, are you sure that's how you want it? Because I wanted to build it like the United States. But they were very happy to have electricity and running water and a concrete floor. And so all of these things just keep me more sensitive to the reality, not here, so that I refrain from spending that, and I could send it to one of them to help enhance their lives. So I need a 2 minute timer behind me so that I obey the same things I'm
You
asking
know what?
of you guys.
I
Sorry.
I didn't realize that I was doing this online shopping. I I was listening to you and doing this, and then I suddenly realized, oh my god, I'm doing
She's
this.
like, oh, excuse me. Joke.
we we are so many live streamers who selling their products online, and it is very easy for us to search that way.
They're using their influence to hook you, and that's why I discourage gift giving and all that stuff because I know it's impulsive to show thanks that way. And whether we realize it or not, all of us need to conserve finances and become more budgeted and more focused on where it's going because there's a lot of challenges that could be coming up in our lives. And so that's one of our fiscal responsibilities is very important to develop and invest at least in our futures and our retirements or accumulate so we can help others that are in our community or our friendships because they could have moments of struggle. That's how community is supposed to be. Some are struggling while others are abundant, and if you have a good connection, then there isn't an issue. Like in our country, the government takes care of a lot of stuff that should be happening with natural relationships. It shouldn't be the government doing it. And with natural relationships helping each other, if you guys, this is an example, guys, because I want to make myself the fall guy or the irresponsible one. If, and I don't, have financial challenges, and we had a community, then someone, whomever it is, who has a surplus or more, would say, Jonathan, I can help you with this, but we really need to sit down and talk about your budget. We need to talk about your credit cards because I'm not going to help you if your patterns are still the same. And that would be something I would receive from a friend, right? Not getting a loan at a bank, not going to financial counseling with a stranger. It would be where friendships and community could come together and say, absolutely, I want to help you. It sounds like you're in a real pickle, but I want to sit down with you and look at what you've been spending your money on and then show you how you can make changes so that a year from now you're in a different pattern, a different situation, and you're coming out from that. That would be receptive. I would receive that from a friend, right? And so all of us, whatever your strength is, when someone has a deficiency, you can say absolutely, but because we're friends, I'm going to tell you that we need to look into like I like your name. I just have to look at my screen. Alicia is contributing with human behavior and psychological patterns. What is the why behind it? What caused this pattern that stimulates that response? And how do we break or disrupt that pattern? And how do we replace it with something more healthy and acceptable? And so that'd be something a friend would say instead of just cut your internet, stop using your phone after 9 p.m. or whatever. We have to dissect it a little bit. Yeah. I
One
love the
more
birds chirping. Yeah,
idea.
go ahead, please. Hmm.
So after looking inward, I also suggest to look outward. I agree with Athena that shopping has become so easy that we can do it like before we fall asleep. We scroll that Taobao and I want this, I want that, and this looks cute. Let's order this and that. So, and also we kind of lose the feel of paying money because we don't use cash. So we
Yes.
don't, our brain doesn't really like
Mm-hmm.
understand how much we actually spend.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's one of the major reasons why I spend more than I need, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
spend because I just don't have feeling that I'm spending actually because I'm not giving you, you know, the banknotes. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard for me to quantify what how much I actually spend. When I receive
Mm-hmm.
this notification from the app that counts how much I spend per month, I I'm like, oh shoot. So
The
we also lose
yeah,
control for this reason. So it's like an external reason why
Mm-hmm.
we spend so much and why
Sure.
our shopping habits um, has become the way they are right now.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Candy.
different platforms for purchasing something will give us the yearly bill review at the end of the year. And when I see the bills for this year, I was so shocked at the money that I spent. Whoa. I didn't realize that I how much money that I make. And in addition, I didn't realize that how much money I spent.
Yeah, yeah. And now that I'm free from debt, um, I didn't realize how much money I was making at work because it was all going out to places to pay for debt of those impulse buys or dropping that plastic. And guys, here's the thing that might motivate you. It is intentional. Detachment from the reality of spending money. All of it is designed on purpose.
Of
So
course.
whomever does it, I don't want to have a conspiracy theory, but there is definitely agenda in tapping into our human behaviors and creating patterns that will succumb to because that's the way we handle stress, that's the way we feel good about ourselves, that's the way we get intention that we want. Again, could be a deficiency. And to my point of healthy relationships between men and women in general, if men, I'm talking to all the guys, if men would learn the advantage and have examples of being a man, then we would make women feel comfortable and protected, and we wouldn't abuse that the first chance we get for personal gain. And women would feel proper attention from men that don't have an agenda to abuse that trust whenever we get a chance. And so there'd be a normal, healthy relationship between men and women where you could feel safe and protected and get natural attention in the proper way. So you wouldn't have such a deficit to where you would override or compromise to get that attention. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in this world, guys, by agenda or by conditioning or by habit. We've got a lot to deal with in the world, and there are stresses and pressures. And if we don't have a plan, if we fail to plan, of course, right? We're planning to fail. If you don't have a plan for your budget, you're almost guaranteed to go outside of it. If you don't have a plan for your life and your friendships and don't allot time for them, you will fail at it. And so it's these discussions are great, but having a plan of action is better. Like if you recognize something and you've talked about it, now the people on stage, you could partner with each other or you could have accountability with one another and say, would you mind just asking me at the end of the week how much did I spend online? I mean, I trust you, Candy. I know you have a very kind heart, and I would accept it from you if you would just ask me, "Hey, just checking in with you. It's Friday. How much did you spend this week?" and make me give you a number so that I hear it and then go, "I can't believe I spent that much this week." And then awareness affords you the chance to make different decisions and change your patterns. So accountability friendship is really, really useful.
I want to add one more thing like There are so many live streamers on the electronic platforms like Taobao or some other platforms, and they will have the selling points to appeal the audience attract attention to focus on the selling points. Well, it is good point that we can buy it. But yeah, indeed, it is a great, say, 1 hour, and I come to realize, did I need this item or not? I found that I don't need it at all, and I
Mm,
was in that situation that I had the brainwashed by that live stream. So I
influenced,
just
yeah.
returned them. Yeah, I just returned the money because it is the thing that we can apply for the refund directly if the delivery didn't send all the items to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or this item sells out all the time, guys, and they just recently restocked, so I don't know how long it's going to last. But if you order right now, we'll go ahead and give free shipping, and all of those things that trigger your urgency, your sense of urgency. And we talked about this before, guys. One of the seduction tactics is to increase your pulse because when your pulse is raised, you might have intellectual ability to know that you don't want to do something, but your follow through will override your intellectual decision. So you might say, no, I shouldn't do that. But when your pulse is raised, we're talking about dating. Guys make you laugh, and they used to be able to make contact without a lawsuit. But all these, they compliment you, they flatter you. All of that raises your pulse. And when your pulse is higher, you might still maintain an intellectual decision, but sometimes, most times, you'll override it with your actions. So your mind says no, your body says yes, and you go for it. So then you have regret and remorse, and now you feel bad, so you want to cover it with more dopamine. Whether it's spending or selling or intimate relationships, whatever it is, it's a similar pattern. And they try to stimulate with humor, with influence, with personality, with flashing sets, or with their cry for help. Look, I'm here with my daughter, and we really need help, and this product's great, and whatever it is. And so when I see those approaches now, I'm on guard. And like Candy said, if you just give yourself a little space, then your pulse will come down, your emotions will settle, and you'll go, I actually don't need it. I'm sympathetic to your situation, but no, no, it's a strong no for me this time. And there's so many routes this could go. I'm excited about how this whole thing is a wormhole. There's so many ways this could go, but guys, if you're joining us, it is the topic. If you can't see the topic, it's, are you doing too much online shopping? I.e., are you addicted to online shopping wherever you are, whether it's clothing? I'm into all natural stuff now, and I'm older, so whenever they say this is the component your body needs, and it's on sale and I still stop and think about it, um, because I want to have the a healthy body. Go ahead, Candy.
I have one question. Like you mentioned a word that I didn't know the meaning of it. It is a seduction. The meaning of the seduction is similar as attraction.
It's to lure. It's a term that implies a predator and prey. To
Oh,
seduce, to cause you to obey or to draw you in to something, and it can be sales, it can be romance, it could be a number of things to get you to override your senses and
okay,
respond. So, yeah,
okay.
seduction.
Pre-
So you have to realize when you're being seduced or persuaded would be another word in the same family, um, because the tactics, whether they be algorithm and AI driven now, or whether it be an actual person who realizes that they have an appeal or an influence and they want to convince you of something to get financial gain or other access to your life. You have to be aware of those flags, just like with everything. If there's a series of flags, whoa, whoa, time out. Not just one flag, because it could just be a random thing, but if there's a series of mannerisms, of actions, of whatever, time out. Time out. I'm seeing a pattern. I want to get out of your web before the spider comes. Yeah.
It's very important to take a little pause before you purchase something. So you would have, time to calm down, like to calm your heart rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
To give yourself some time and ask yourself, why do you want it? Then do you really need it? All these questions before we purchase, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I feel like, and if you still want that thing, and if you still answer yes, I need it, I use it on a regular basis, and now it's cheaper than usual, that's why I want to buy it, then maybe the answer is yes, you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I would say, yeah, it's really important to give yourself this little pause and stop and
Mm-hmm.
think and answer these questions, and then only make a decision if you really need it or not.
Pause for your pulse. Pause for your pulse. Athena, go ahead.
I always have a reason to buy stuff.
Justification.
I always think uh, I need one more dress. Because like this color, I don't have this color dress with this color, so yeah, I must buy one. But that's the um, superficial reason. And if I think deeper, if I ask, do I need so many clothes? No, I don't. Then why do I want to buy more stuff? Just like you guys said, maybe because I'm living alone, uh, not with friends, not with family.
Mm-hmm.
One second.
I want sometimes I want to relax, and I found this way, and also because online apps are
Mm-hmm.
trying to seduce everyone.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
yeah, and successfully, yeah. Uh, and I I think next time I should think, should I buy this stuff? Do I really need it? And if I don't really need it, then I should do something else um, to use my energy, maybe like
Mm-hmm.
reading
It's true.
or yeah, or exercise or
Mm-hmm.
mm, yeah, doing something else. Yeah.
It's true.
Mm.
It's really true. I mean, if you get an accountability partner, think of an accountant. Accountants have to reconcile, right? They have to justify what was spent or analyze where the money went, right? Essentially for accounting. Accountability is someone who you've confided in, like all of us here, and said, I have this thing that I want to stop. I'm sure I'm doing too much of it, and yet I can't. And so if Candy were yours or Alicia was yours, you would say, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. I was thinking of buying this dress and I don't have this color. Probably before you even push send, you'd go, no, she's going to tell me I don't need another color. Or she's going to say, well, okay, sure, get it, but you have to give away one of your other dresses. And you're like, but
Yeah.
no, I need those too. So just the thought of someone of reason included in your decision making might stop you before you even talk to them because you know the way Candy thinks or the way Alicia thinks. And you go, they're the voice of reason. They would not buy my excuse. They would not buy my justification. And so, um, that can be very helpful, guys. Again, healthy friendships are priceless. Just what they can and do for us when we build them right, when we defend them, when we have a framework for them. They help us from all these things. But isolation, making the decision on our own, that that makes us subject to bad patterns. Yeah. So I don't know, this topic is so big and there's so many things, but just talking about it in general might give some people a moment of pause. Before I bought the watch, I asked my brother because he's more stable than me, and he has the Apple 9 and it cost half as much as the Apple Ultra. And he already looked at it when he was buying his 9 and decided it was too much money. But here I always had this ultra fantasy. I gotta have the ultra watch because it's bigger and I'm used to bigger watches. And I paused that for a year and then finally I texted him when I was at work and said, hey, bro, I can get it for this much a month, but I would actually pay it off in 2 months. I wouldn't wait a whole year. So it would only cost me this much. And it would monitor my heart. And I've had some heart situations going on. I'm not on medication. And here, right? So I went to buy it at work in the middle of work, uh, out of stock. And I was like, all right, well, I'll pick the color band I didn't want, out of stock. Hmm. So I had that pause because I felt that eagerness rising in me, like, gotta have it. Let me go to another app. Let me go to another place. I gotta have it. I don't care what it costs now. I gotta have it. And I paused. And so I waited like an hour and I was like, okay, it was per impulse. Maybe I don't need it because I couldn't get it even though I felt I had permission to get it. And then they notified me, oh, it's back in stock. So I paused because now, right, the algorithms got me. Oh, it just got resupplied. So eventually I did select, and I even thought about it afterwards. Do I need it? It costs twice as much as the other watch, and they're pretty similar in function. And when I came home, I had a check for half the cost of the watch from another thing from the past. I didn't know that money was coming, and I'm like, well, there it is. So I'll just put that towards the watch. I'll have it paid off in a month. So, however that worked out, I at least had several. I had an accountability partner, and he's not easy to give me approval, but he's seen my responsibility over the last 9 months. He sees my debt is eradicated, and he's like, not a bad thing. So, anyway, guys, these are ways that you can give a moment of pause for your own pulse or an accountability partner to see if it's really something you need, and you can start to set up your limits. How many dresses do I think I need? Give me a number. And then if I buy this, I'll have to get rid of one of those. Which one of those is going to go? None of them. Okay, that's a problem. So you can't buy this until you decide because you agreed that 15 dresses is enough. Interrupt that pattern and give a moment of pause. Yeah. Oh, Candy, I can relate. I'm a little tired too.
Yeah, I have to go now.
Oh, it's been an hour already. Wow. We've been marinating for an hour. Candy, thank you so much for joining us while you're on vacation, dude. You rock. I appreciate it. Rocks.
Vacation. And
Um, um,
Yeah, she
bye
flew there. Go
bye.
ahead.
oh,
Yeah, guys, and that's the way it is here. Hello Talk uses that as well with coins and gifts. If support your hosts, they automatically prompt it, and that's why I tell everybody, don't send me just on principle alone. Don't send me anything. Even don't even send me the free gifts because that will prime you. When you run out of your free gifts, you'll want to send us something else because you appreciate. But our community impact is because we're trying to be real. We're trying to share life together, and there shouldn't be any price on life together. That's a beautiful thing already. So when you come here, you should feel accepted whether you have resources or not. And I ask you to refrain from their automatic promptings. I think Hello Talk should gain revenue because they're a business and we like what they're doing with the business. But I don't want you to do it by impulse or necessity or thinking that you won't be accepted in this community or acknowledged. So that's why we defer. We can't shut it off. We can't stop it. They won't let us. But I can do these little phrases. Oh, these phrases. Was that a sneeze or did you just move? God bless you.
I'm sorry. Sorry,
Bless
I
you if it was
forgot
sneeze.
to mute myself. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. You
So
go
yeah,
ahead.
the way I see it, actually, like it has two sides, like a coin. One part that is up to you is your internal reasons, and on another hand, we are constantly pumped up with all these stimulations
Mm-hmm.
from the apps constantly, even though we don't watch, many of us don't watch TV anymore, so we think we don't really watch advertisement, right? However, actually we still do watch it, just in other forms. We still get them on our applications, the still paper version when we take a public transport. It's like it's constantly
Right.
in front of us, and we get influenced sometimes even we even realizing it. So if we see like some advertisement many times, it's already here, and once we need to make a choice and we see, oh, that's a nice price for that thing, maybe I've got to buy it because I saw that advertisement 20 times before already. So
Yeah. Just knowing that it's
yeah.
intentional makes me
Yeah,
stop.
I really think this thing with taking a
Mm-hmm.
pause, like, is a really
Pause for your
valuable
pulse.
tip.
And ladies, you know about it. You know, with dating, you're really enjoying someone and everything's going well, and maybe they are filling the features of the person that didn't have it the last person that you were in a relationship with. And it's easy to let that momentum keep going. But you ladies usually encourage each other. Nope, take a pause. On the first date, don't hold hands. On the first date, don't do, because you're somewhat aware that you want to refrain to see if there's a commitment, if they're invested, if they're going to continue to pursue or try to appeal to you even days or weeks later.
Depends
Yeah.
on your
And so
goals.
you have to create boundaries because you know that things can develop momentum, and part of that is because your pulse. And you do deserve to have someone in your life, someone that makes you feel safe and special, and that can make you laugh, and that is easy on the eyes and appreciates your individual appearance. But you always got to have your girlfriends or someone to tell you, no, take a moment of pause. And guys, we would see it as a game, but it's actually they're trying to protect their virtue and enter into a commitment in the proper frame of mind and not because of other reasons. So, old school. I know I'm probably talking ancient, but I'm an old guy. I think a lot of those things that were in place and were supported by society when girlfriends had groups of advisors and counselors, it was frustrating for guys, but that moment of pause, it showed them whether we were committed or we had an agenda that was all about a quick win. And so, if you stayed the course, then the reward was a commitment that you knew was built on something else besides a good couple of dates or someone who could spend a lot of money on you or whatever. So, this same framework, apply it to there's a definite agenda with social media and platforms. There's a definite agenda, and its desire is not your best interest, it's its own interest. So once you know that going into it, you can be on guard. I don't like to be played for a fool. I don't think anybody does. So when I see some flags or manipulation tactics or seduction, swipe, move on, turn it off. And Athena, in your defense, we often see you going for long walks. So you do engage in natural environments to refresh you, and you do go for walks. And I think that for whatever reason you do that, maybe it's to get your steps or what have you, but those are great moments in nature that can defrag us from all of the technical influence that we have all day. So that's why I wanted to go to Solvang, and I'm kind of sad that I can't now, or I shouldn't, because Solvang is so relaxed with deer and rabbit and just a very relaxed environment for me that I'm even asking my friend in LA if I can stay at his house a couple of days while they go to work every day because he's got a backyard and a pool, and I'll have some solitude in their home. But they're living their life and their life's busy. It's a married couple, and I don't want to impose on their evening time together when they finally get home. Like, oh, I forgot we have a guest. So I'm trying to find a place because at home the dogs demand things. I like spending time with my brother, but that one time a year when I go to Solvang is kind of me time, you know? And at the same time, I don't want to be in town and feel the pressure when they're dealing with the struggle of cancer, and they don't, some of the family doesn't want me there. And so I'm kind of on the fence. I almost shaved my head last night, and you guys would have been really surprised. Because I know mom's going to go through chemo and a lot of things that are going to affect her, and it would remind me. It would remind me every day to pray for her and to think about what she's going through. And she's such a champion. She's already dealt with a lot of stuff. And so, sorry to digress, guys, but it's heavy on my brain. It's heavy on my brain recently. So,
Yes, of course. That's understandable.
yeah, so really cool topic, Athena. Once again, you nailed it. And the sign of a good topic is that it's inexhaustible and it has many routes it can go. Whether it's something like this that involves human behavior, relationship dynamics, um, cognitive distortion or patterns that we've established unbeknownst to us. All of these things can lead to more and more discussions. So, those of you listening who were like, I couldn't get on stage, it was a great topic. I once again encourage you to get with each other. It doesn't have to stop here. You can just click on someone's name in the chat that sounds interesting and say, can we continue to talk about this like 15 minutes after the live stream? Because I have a lot of thoughts that I couldn't express and express them in
Great
English.
idea.
It's yeah. I keep saying typo. Um, Even Alicia will occasionally have live streams, and her topics do the same thing. And you don't have to fight to be on stage. You don't have to be frustrated if you didn't get on stage, but use it as a venue where you see people of like-mindedness in the community and just click on their name and say, Hi, I see you all the time in Alicia's live stream. Can we just talk for 10 minutes after her live? Or can we talk every day for 10 minutes about various live streamers' topics? And use that as a launching platform to use your English. And it will totally grow your English, really, your fluency. Cool. Well, we
Right.
don't have to be done,
Great
guys. I
points.
just wanted to interject that.
I'll go. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, that's a great topic, Athena. Thank
Thank
you so
you
much
for your
too.
advice.
I will see you later.
I would say hi, but you have paid practice only. I was gonna send her a text message, but she's got this block, and I guess I have to pay to say something. Um, and that's probably an occasional guard she has from bad fan mail. Um, well, Athena, once again, you nailed it, and we don't have to be done talking about this, but I think it's so cool that you would open up to something. It's a sense of vulnerability to share this, that you recognize you have a challenge or a problem or something that you want to correct. Um, because that's what makes our community communal, is that we don't we don't fake it when we have issues. We kind of bring it up and let's talk about it. Because have you
Mm-hmm.
found any solutions in our discussion thus far, or things that you're going to implement to help to curb it or change your patterns at all?
Uh, there are so many words I don't understand, but I like
Oh,
implement.
okay,
Mm.
let's talk about those because I love that kind of a side thing. Implement means to put into action.
Oh, oh yeah. Um, I think I will change the card. Maybe I will unblind the card to the app, and if I really need to buy something, maybe I should go out, like go to the supermarket or go to the store. Not do online shopping. And also, I haven't been exercised for 2 months, I guess. So now I'm not. Yeah. Uh, I should go back to exercise. And also, mm, you inspire me a lot. So I'll be more conscious. Mm,
Well, all of us need to, guys. I have a pile literally a pile of clean clothes. I keep getting into this disfunct where I'll wash it and not fold it, or I'll fold it and it will all be stacked and I won't put it away. I don't know what is going on with me, because all my hanger space is full in my closet, and I have drawers that are empty in my bed. Underneath my bed, there are drawers built in, and and other places. And so I have this disfunct, and so I bought all these new shirts for work, which feel great and look cool, and they're very functional for work. And yet they're in a pile. It's just this pile of clothes. And I didn't have very many clothes growing up, so maybe that's part of it. In fact, my stepmother would make me some clothes, which made students make fun of me at school because I had homemade clothes. Um, um, but I don't feel I'm traumatized from that, but I think I am justifying it and offsetting it. Um, so all of us guys are a work in progress. You know, we're not like a building that is built and then it stays. We need repair, we need upkeep, we need to see where something's broken and needs to be fixed, or something needs to be upgraded or repaired or whatever. So, having community, having friends that we can trust can help identify those things, be a little easier before they become really bad. And we're also more accepting when people we trust would give us advice or even confront us. Like Johnathan, it's getting bad. Can I see your room? Have you folded things? Have you put them away, Johnathan? No, I'm not going to show you my room, because it's like a hidden chamber in my life that I'm embarrassed by, but I won't correct it. So, I say this with you guys because, when I have areas of improvement like finance, I also have other areas of this that need improvement. So Athena's being transparent and allowing us to talk about this topic is really cool. It reminds me how great our community is, Athena.
Thank
Yeah.
you. The reason I'm being transparent is because I trust you, because I know you will help me. Because you always have been so helpful, so supportive.
So one of the things I did when I was coming out of debt, because I didn't know how to have extra, I thought it was extra money. Like, because I didn't expect that I didn't realize how much I was earning because it was all going towards debt or interest, and I accepted those payments. But with Tendai and his wife, I send them money every paycheck to support their lives because they went to the water well to pump water and it was chained. And that's where they get water, like to drink. And there was a lock on it because they haven't had their rainy season yet and they're short on water. Or they'll have rolling blackouts in his part of Lasaka, Zambia. And that means they don't have electricity to function or to cook food. So, those realities make me think I'm living a very wealthy lifestyle and I care about him. He's a really cool friend and he works very hard every day, walking and traveling. And he's taken over our radio ministries there. So he walks to the radio, he goes to the jail and encourages the men there and share with them words of hope. He goes to the schools and lectures at the schools and shares with them words of hope. He does a lot. And so by me committing a certain amount of money that would pay his rent or afford them food money. Um, he sells popcorn every day from a popcorn machine, and he makes different other foods that he sells to try to make money for him and his wife. So that, Athena, gave me a source for where my money would go. So my budget was tighter because I didn't have extra money because it was going there. But I'm also inspired by how he's leveling up and might have getting a job now. Or I could invest a certain amount of money for him to buy a resource that he could sell for a little bit of profit and actually work with his hands and still bring in money for him and his family so they can maybe get a better place to live or a better bed to sleep on. So investing in other people's lives in different countries with different economies makes me feel very satisfied with the decisions I'm making. Um, and it takes away some of that extra resource that I thought I had. So this is just information. How I met him was not by him asking me for money or anything like that. It was a couple of years before I sent him any money. I offered to. And the family in the Philippines, again, building that hut and seeing how happy they are with that hut and having running water and electricity, it humbles me. And they're very grateful. And they do work. They have animals that they raise, and the products of those animals they sell. So they're working. They're not people sitting back going, "We're really struggling. There's no work here." It's being able to contribute, and people have done that with me, Athena, 6, 7 years ago, when I tried to start my life over again. I had people that I had corresponded with in many, many letters, just as people sharing our lives together. They became my aunt and my mom. My mom in Solvang is how we got so close, because when I destroyed my life, like destroyed my life, I don't know how else to say it. I lost connections with most of my family and all of my friends and my career and everything. These people were put in my path, and I would just write them letters, and their words were so meaningful, and I got to know them that way. And then when I tried to get back into life again, Mary helped me so much, not just financially, but as a mother figure. And another person, Darlene, again, Mary's age, like my mom's age, 85 years old, married woman. Her husband's very famous. And I'll just leave it at that. But she and I are both Christian, and her husband is not. And she sent me cookware sets and her plates, like a setting for seven. I don't need seven, but they were her plates, and her son had bought them new plates for their home. She sent them to me. So the fact that they were hers and they're in great shape. And then she sent me outfits like a mother would, clothing, and all of these clothing, brand new clothes. And so they gave out of their abundance, but they gave and they sowed into my life, and they encouraged me. And I finally started to build up who I am as a person again. And so that circulation is a communal circulation. They didn't just throw money at the problem. They didn't just tell me you don't need to work. I still got a job, and I got back into my life, and now I'm where I am at. So, whatever you guys call that, I call it a community, because we're supposed to care for each other um, in different ways. You know, um, some people are attorneys and they have a job and they get paid at that job. But if you're friends and you need legal advice, you like, well, I'll just ask my friend Joe, who's an attorney, and get his input. He wouldn't charge you for that time, and you wouldn't abuse his profession. But you wouldn't have to go pay a stranger to try to figure you out, right? Same with psychology, relationship dynamics, finances. If we have friendships that we trust, then our gifts and abilities can be shared appropriately. So, wow, did I start lecturing? Sorry about that. It just starts coming out of my face.
Yeah, you're such a wonderful person, and with those um, life experiences, um, you have been helping us, but I I haven't a chance to give anything back.
You do a lot. You
And
do a lot, Athena. You do. All of you do. Moneta does. I mean, Moneta gives a lot of gifts here, but that's out of the abundance. She really likes our community, and she wants to support it. She does a lot of things, right? But Moneta, all of you guys, by knowing about your lives, by you sharing your lives, it makes this more tangible. I'm not a personality, I'm a person. You guys are people, and we're trying to figure out and navigate through life. So whether we're here, guys, sorry, this is a live stream. Maybe you feel like you joined a private conversation, but Athena's been with this community, and I've known her for a while, since all of this kind of gave birth. And so it's not even big, guys. It's just big to us because there's a lot of you guys out there. But we're not working this as an angle. We're not using this as try to get your gifts and all that stuff. And there's an automatic response to want to contribute to what you're experiencing. But remember, it's not me as a person, it's actually our community, because I know everyone's benefiting from how transparent you are, Athena. And That makes that's becoming actually a stronger reason for visiting China than to meet with Hello Talk. I want that to be a byproduct of going there, but with you and Candy and other people in China that have been with the community, it's important for me to make these interactions real, like people wise. And I would like to meet as a group. I'm sure I can think of 10 people, including Olysia. She's in, is it Olysia? Was it Olysia? It was a really cool name. I've known her as Type O, but she's in China and she said she'll fly wherever we end up being, we as in our team, so that we can all meet. And of course, I'll forget all about meeting with Hello Talk momentarily, I guess, because we should build that relationship too. But cool, cool. So, what's our next topic? As you think of it, Athena, what time is it there? Like 8:30 at night? 9:30.
9:30.
9:30 at night.
Mhm.
Um, I have today and tomorrow off. I almost canceled today because of that sleep and my stress from yesterday. I really had to regroup, but when I thought about it and I saw your text that you make time for this, and I thought of our connection as friends. And then I thought
Mhm.
about how I feel after I spend time with all of you guys. So I feel more at rest and because I'm myself with you guys. And you guys have helped me to deal with this double impact in my life in a better way. I have a better perspective now. I probably will sleep a little bit, but my brother's not on my schedule. He's going to wake up in an hour or so and he's going to want to go riding to our coffee shop, which I enjoy. And then we'll have some coffee and breakfast and talk. And I'll defrag with him a little bit too. So, Athena, thank you. I want to thank you because you don't know how much you and Monetta and Candy and Alicia and the many, many people in our community. Um, you contribute a lot more than you realize. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you. Now are you going to take a nap now?
I probably will, but as soon as I hear my brother's awake, because when I've worked all these evening shifts, we don't see each other. I go to work when he's at work. He comes home from work, and then he's asleep when I come home from work. So all week long, for 5 days, essentially, we don't see each other. And so today we have plans. He already did grocery shopping yesterday. I have a plan of purchasing. I subscribe to a different fitness app that I've been watching for over a year. Like they have a financial. They're a business, but I have fitness goals while I'm still able to that I just want to try to accomplish before I'm 60. And then after that, I'll probably let some of those goals go because they're not practical as I get into more mature age in that whatever you want to call it. But I've always wanted to have a certain result. So I think I'm going to start eating the way they recommend. It's a professional like custom diet for the goal I have. So I want to start making those meals and cooking that way to achieve those goals. And so I want to go to a certain health store and buy the foods and at least make one of those meals and try that.
So you want to learn cooking. You want to cook.
Well, visceral fat. Have you ever heard of visceral fat? Visceral fat. Has anybody ever heard of that in the chat? It's called visceral fat. It's a specific type of fat in our bodies. I think it's viscer, visceral. So visceral fat is the fat on your body that most of us don't like. It's in places we don't like. It's stubborn. It won't go away. When we lose weight, it's still there. So visceral fat or stored fat, I think it's VISC, guys. If you guys are trying to look it up, let me see if my spell check will catch it real quick.
I
VISC.
already
Oh,
I
did you write it
already
already?
typed it.
C.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
VASCRAL.
hmm Yeah, so visceral fat for guys, it's on your lower back. It's called love handles or whatever. It's on your obliques. It's sometimes on your belly in the front, wherever you don't want it, and it's hard to go away. This is a certain stored fat, and not only for aesthetics of how you look out here, but what it indicates is that your body is storing fat around your organs as well, the visceral fat that's around your organs. And that can complicate or restrict the way your organs work or the health of your organs. So to attack visceral fat, you need a certain type of workout and a certain type of diet with a certain cycle that comes and goes of certain foods. I'm not going to go too deep with it, but there's a proven method. Some people choose to attack visceral fat because they want to look very lean and have all their muscles show. That's a side effect of getting rid of your visceral fat. It's a higher level of discipline in your diet and in your rest and in certain exercises. Not a lot, actually. You can do it with actually relatively little exercise. But there's a strategy that I'm amping up to engage in because I want to attack visceral fat in my life and see if I can actually control it. Because as I get older, that type of diet and the activity I'm talking about, like your cardio can go from an hour, people stay on the treadmill forever. It actually doesn't have the benefit you expect. But 15 minutes of a certain type of exercise can have you burning calories for 2 days. So there's a different approach, and I want to try to train myself to get into that routine. So as I get older, then visceral fat won't hurt me and harm me. But I'm not going to obsess about it so that you look like you're a professional bodybuilder or something. My goal is to attack the inner visceral fat. So I just shared it all with you guys essentially, and I don't mind sharing it with you directly. But that's my agenda. Thank you,
Oh,
Moneta. We needed a commercial break. She's so good at that. Good job, guys. Tap. Moneta again is showing generosity to our community by doing this, and thank you, Moneta. Good job.
thank you so
Isn't she? She's so
much.
giving. Monetta's so giving. And guys, I've asked you this before, and if you think about it, just send her a thank you text. She's a behind the scenes helper, and she does so much to support our community, not just with gifts like this, but she controls the piece in the chat, and she's very dedicated to being everywhere we are. And so, guys, I am going to wrap it up for now because I can feel fatigue and I want to sneak a nap before my brother wakes up. But Athena, many, many thanks, my friend. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You are so great,
You,
so
yeah,
wonderful.
well,
You do,
oh, you're trying to do the rock star?
yeah.
To make it do the rock star?
This why
It,
don't?
you got to have just your fingers, not your thumbs. Your two end fingers.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Those two end fingers up. Yeah, do it
oh,
like that. And then yours should also do the rock star if it lets you. I don't know if it'll let you. Practice. Because people are like, yeah, rock star. Maybe a little angle, maybe a little bit of an angle, like I'm doing, pinky to pinky, like angled. Instead of straight, do it angle.
I'm good.
There you go. Try it like that and see what happens.
Oh my
No, you're gonna have
God,
to
no.
practice that now. So, guys, the
Okay.
Apple 17 iOS, if you've got it, you can enable gestures and you can get all of these things to happen. Yeah, I forgot about that one. You can do the heart. And so there, Athena's getting it with the heart one. Um,
Are you?
it's a lot of fun, guys. All right. So, Athena, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank,
And don't
thank
be
you.
a
Have a good
stranger.
want
All right. We'll see you.
as long as I don't.
Bye for now. Guys, we're wrapping it up today. Eunice, you're welcome. Great topic. I agree. Thank you for the chicken. um, I recycle your gifts, guys. So if you still feel and you give a gift, I recycle it. I cash it out and we do that money drop and everything like that. Thank you for joining. I think if you join the fan club, then there are benefits for you guys. If you're always here, you'll get fan club points just for being here, and then you can purchase different like pop-up windows for your text and stuff like that for free. Guys, I'm going to go for now so I can rest a little bit more. Yes, Moneta, absolutely. Peace between Saudi Arabia and the United States. We should all be allies, guys. I know our country needs you, and we need all the resources in your people, like as far as your personalities and your culture and your gifts and abilities and trades. All of us really need each other, and I hope the world sees that and spends more resources on uniting us and than dividing us. I always try to say something to that effect. So thank you for being here, guys. I hope you feel welcome here. Thank you, Phantom. And what a cool name. I wish I could say it. That looks like such a cool name, like Ruslan, but it's Ah, and it's written in your language. But I don't want to say it wrong. But thank you for being here. Um, and guys, thank you. Thank you for being here, being peaceful and respectful. And we're off tomorrow. We take Sundays off. But you guys can text me directly if you have questions. We'll be off tomorrow. And I'll see you on Monday. All right. I'm working Monday morning. It says I am. I think I might still work Monday night. I'm not sure, but we'll get it figured out. All right. Take care of each other. Woo! Bye for now. Take care. I'll try to do the peace out balloons thing before I go. There we go.